Notes on section 1.5 are on writing equations of lines. To begin with, we're going to find the slope of the line containing the following points. Please pause the video and try these 4 problems and then turn the video back on to see the answers. Let's take a look at slope-intercept form. In slope-intercept form, the M stands for slope and B stands for the y-intercept. When you write your answer for y-intercept, be sure to write it as an ordered pair. First, we're going to convert these equations into slope-intercept form. Then we'll identify the slope and the y-intercept of the graph. A. Let's add 6 to both sides. We will get y equals negative 3x plus 6. The slope is negative 3, and the y-intercept is 0, 6. Part B, divide by 2. So each term will get divided by 2. That gives us negative 1/2 x plus 2. The slope is negative 1/2. The y-intercept is 0, 2. Part C, first we should subtract 5x from both sides. Then we'll get 2y equals negative 5x plus 26. And then divide by 2. So each term should get divided by 2. That gives us y equals negative 5/2 x plus 13. So the slope is negative 5/2 and the y-intercept is 0, 13. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. We have a slope of 2/3 and a y-intercept of negative 5. So that is y equals 2/3 x minus 5. Now pause the video and do the next 2 problems, then turn the video back on to see the answers. Next, we are going to graph these equations that we will have in slope-intercept form. If you look at the next 2 problems, we do not have them in slope-intercept form, so we're going to convert them into that form. The first problem, I will add 25x to both sides. Now I have 5y equals 25x minus 15. Divide through by 5, and you have y equals 5x minus 3. The slope of this line is 5, but I'm going to write it as 5/1 because I'm about to walk that slope. The y-intercept is 0, negative 3. So I'm going to plot my starting point at 0, negative 3. And from that point, I will walk the slope. Slope is 5/1, so that's going up 5 and to the right 1. I'll do that again, up 5 and to the right 1. You only need to have 2 points to draw the line, but I'll put an extra 1 or 2 on the graph while we're learning this for the first time. Problem B. Take a moment to change that into y equals form. So pause the video and do that next, and then graph it and turn the video back on to check. Now try the next 2 problems. Pause the video and do C and D, then turn the video back on to check. Part E. To graph the line y equals 2, you need to recognize that that's a horizontal line. Place a point on the y-axis at 2 and then draw a horizontal line through that point. To graph the line x equals -2, that's going to be a vertical line. So I'm going to go to -2 on the x-axis and draw a vertical line at -2. The second form of the equation of a line is point-slope form. It is called point-slope form because we can see the slope right here. M is our slope. And then there's a point in that formula also. The x subscript of 1 and y subscript of 1 are where we put the x and y coordinates from the point. So let's practice doing that in number 1. The slope is 3/4. So I'm going to put 3/4 in place of m. I'm going to put 2 in place of x sub 1, and I'll put 5 in place of y sub 1. So the equation will look like this. Y minus 5 equals 3/4 x minus 2. Part B. Slope is -5. X sub 1 is -3. Y sub 1 is -4. When you set this one up, you'll start with y minus, and then you'll have to put -4. Equals -5, because that's the slope, times x minus -3. So you can see in two places we have minus a negative. You have to change that to plus a positive. Now you can change it right there, change those minuses to pluses, or you could just have written y plus 4 equals -5 times x plus 3. Please pause the video and do part C, and then turn the video back on to see the answer. To graph equations that are in point-slope form, we're going to use the point x sub 1, y sub 1 to be our starting point for the graph. So in part A, let us point out the slope is 1/2 and the point is going to be -4, -3. Plot the point -4, -3, and then walk the slope up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. Part B. The slope is 2/3. The point is 5, -3. Graph 5, -3, and then walk the slope. Up 2, right 3. Up 2, right 3. If you end up going off the grid, you could also go back to your starting point. Instead of going up 2, right, you can go down 2, left 3. Please pause the video, try part C, then turn the video back on to see the answer. And the third form of the equation of a line is standard form. Standard form looks like ax plus by equals c. In this form, we can easily find the x-intercept or y-intercept of the line. To find the x-intercept, we're going to let y equal 0. To find the y-intercept, you're going to let x equal 0. Let's practice doing that. Number 1, part A, we get the equation 3x plus 4y equals 24. To find the x-intercept, I'm going to let y equal 0. 4 times 0 is 0, so the left side is 3x now, and divide by 3 to get 8. Write that intercept as an ordered pair, 8, 0. To find the y-intercept, let x equal 0. So write 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 24. Of course, 3 times 0 is 0, so the only thing on the left side now is 4y. Divide by 4 and you get 6. The y-intercept is 0, 6. Part B, let y equal 0. That will give you 7x equals 21. Divide by 7, you get 3. For the y-intercept, let x equal 0. That means the term 7x will go to 0. You'll be left with -y equals 21. Therefore, the y-intercept is at -21. Please pause the video, Do parts C and D, and then turn the video back on to check your answers. Let's use x-intercepts and y-intercepts to graph the linear equation when it is in standard form. Part A, let's find the x-intercept first. When we want the x-intercept, we're going to zero out the y term, so we get 6x equals 18, so x is 3. That means we need a point at 3, 0. Now we'll work on the y-intercept. Let x equal 0. That means the term 6x will become 0, so we will have negative 2y equals 18 left. Divide both sides by negative 2 and you get negative 9. We need to plot a point at 0, negative 9. All you have to do now is draw a line through those 2 points. Make sure you put the arrowheads on the end. Please pause the video. Do part, then turn the video back on to see the answer. For each of the following, write an equation of the line in point-slope form and standard form. Also, we need to identify the slope, the y-intercept, and the x-intercept. To begin with, we have a slope of 5, and it passes through the point 3, negative 1. So we could set up point-slope form right away. Y minus negative 1 equals 5 times x minus 3. Of course, we need to change minus a negative into plus a positive. So there is point-slope form. Next, I'm going to try and change that into standard form. So I'm going to distribute the 5, then I'm going to get the y on the right side with the x. Then I'll add 15 to get the 15 off of that side. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to subtract y from both sides, then I'm going to add 15. So I end up with 5x minus y on one side and 16 on the other. That's the standard form of the equation of the line. All I have left now is to find the intercepts. So you know when I want the x-intercept, I let y equal 0. So 5x would equal 16. Therefore, x would be 16/5. And when you write that down, write it as an ordered pair. To find the y-intercept, I will let x equal 0. So that means 5x will turn into 0. I'll be left with negative y equals 16. So y is negative 16. Make sure you write an ordered pair. Number 2, we get 2 points this time, so we'll have to find the slope ourselves. Let's set up the change in y. I'll write 5 minus 3 on the top and 3 minus 2 on the bottom. So I see a slope of 2. Now I can use point-slope form to set up the equation. Y minus 3 equals 2 times x minus 2. So you'll notice I use the first ordered pair. You could use the first ordered pair or the second ordered pair. Now I want to change it into standard form. So I'll start by distributing the 2. 2x minus 4. Now I want to move y on the same side as x. So I'm going to subtract y from both sides. Then I'm going to add 4 to both sides. That'll leave 2x minus y on one side by itself, and then a 1 on the other side. To find the x-intercept, I'll solve 2x equals 1. To find the y-intercept, I'll solve negative y equals 1. Please pause the video, do number 3, and then turn the video back on to see the answer. This time there is a fraction involved, so what I'd like to do is multiply through by 5 to clear the fractions. Please pause the video, work on number 4 and 5, turn the video back on, and check your answers. When I calculate the slope in number 4, I'm going to calculate 3 minus 0 on the top and then 3 minus 3 on the bottom. This becomes 3 over 0, which is an undefined slope. That means the line must be vertical. And if the line is vertical, the only intercept I can report is the X-intercept. So the line has X coordinates of 3. I can put those 2 points on there, 3, 0 and 3, 3. Put them on a graph, I should say, and you'll see the vertical line passing through those 2 points. So the X-intercept is the 3, 0, but there is no Y-intercept. Let's calculate slope for number 5. I'm going to do 7 minus 7 in the numerator and then 6 minus 2 in the denominator. That gives 0 over 4, which is equal to 0. When a line has a slope of 0, it's horizontal. Here's a graph. If the line is horizontal, it's only going to have a Y-intercept. That Y-intercept is at 0, 7. You could see that in the Y coordinates of the ordered pairs. There will be no X-intercept. Number 6. The equation 6 minus 2y equals x is graphed in the xy plane. Which of the following is a true statement? The first two have to do with the X-intercept and the Y-intercept. We can find those rather quickly. When we want the X-intercept, we let y equal 0. So in that equation, 6 minus 2y equals x, if we let y equal 0, then negative 2y will go to 0, and we'll be left with 6 equals x. So the X-intercept is 6, 0. The Y-intercept can be found when we let x equal 0. So we'll get 6 minus 2y equals 0. All we have to do is solve that. It takes just 2 steps. Add 2y to both sides and divide by 2. The Y-intercept is 3. So I'll read choice A. The graph's X-intercept is 6 and its Y-intercept is negative 2. That's false, so I won't pick it. Choice B. The graph's X-intercept is 6 and the Y-intercept is positive 2. That is also false, so I won't select choice B. The next 2 choices have to do with the slope of the line. So I'm going to find the slope of the line. The line's equation is 6 minus 2y equals x. If I subtract 6 from both sides, I'll get negative 2y equals x minus 6, and then divide through by negative 2. I'll get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. I can see the slope right there now that I have it in slope-intercept form. The graph has a slope of negative 1/2 is choice D, so that's the correct answer. Number 7. All of these lines are written in standard form, so I can find the slope of these lines by doing negative a over b. Remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c, and you can quickly find the slope if you take the opposite of the number in front of x and put it over the number in front of y. So that'll be negative 8 over 7, negative 7 over negative 8, which is 7/8, negative 7 over negative 8, which is 7/8, and negative 7 over 8. So the only ones that have a 7/8 slope are B and C. So we're not going to select A, and we are not going to select D. Now we have to determine what the Y-intercept is. Let's find the Y-intercept by letting x equal 0. So for part B, if I let x equal 0, I will have negative 8y equals 3. So the Y-intercept will be negative 3/8. And in part C, if I let x equals 0, I'll get negative 8y equals negative 24. That means y equals 3, and that's what the question is looking for, a y-intercept of 3. Number 8. Which of the following is an equation of line in the xy plane with x-intercept negative 2/7 and y-intercept 8/7? I'm going to ask you to pause the video and do number 8, then turn the video back on to see the answer. Please pause the video for one last time, do the closure, and then turn the video back on to see the answers.